Well, hello and good morning. I'm BJ,
I'm Joe.
and together we are out and about on the Recumbents. And today we're just going to do a little short video kind of explaining how tough it is to have recumbent trikes and be without a car and live in a second-story apartment. We're going to show you what it takes for us just to get everything down and up and down the stairs both, and we're heading out to put our votes in a voter's box downtown, and then we're heading to the store, so we'll be hooking up the utility trailer too. So all right, well, we just wanted to sorry about that, I forgot about the mic. It's hanging here. All right. But we just wanted to kind of let you know what this video is going to be about. And all right, so you'll start seeing what it takes for us just to get out of the apartment to go get food or to go do an errand. All right, for now I'm going to shut you all off till we get started again. Bye.
Bye.
All right. Well, we're getting ready to go here. First thing we have to do is go put a doorstop over here in the hallway door so we can get the trikes through. Sorry, I got to do a little weird bending here. There's a pumpkin. Joe has to grab out her flags. We have a flag for each trike, and then we have a flag for the trailer. I have to grab the saddlebags here. Bring these down. I swear they're actually heavier than the trikes. As you can see, we have 12 steps. Actually, it's 10 steps up and down, so that does make it a little harder. And Joe's got to put rocks and open the door because we have locking doors. Alright, so now I got to go up and get my trike. Actually, I'm going to get Joe's trike first, and then I got to come back and get my trike, and then I got to come back and get the trailer. And this is where we keep our trikes. We can't afford a storage unit anymore. After COVID, they got so ridiculously expensive that we just couldn't afford one anymore. And this is the real pain when it comes to these trikes. You have to get them through the doors because they're almost between 31 and 32 inches wide. You have to kick the handlebars all the way to one side. Okay, so we put that there. All right. Now, I bring it over here, and I have to do the same thing through the hallway fire door here. And because the fire doors are so thick, that makes it even harder. Same thing, you kick it really hard, and you just bring it in like that, and then we have to get it downstairs, and it's really strange, but it seems like the easiest way to do that is to do it backwards. It takes a little bit of maneuvering here because the staircase kind of juts out a bit. Alright, so we got to get the trike straight. Okay, and then what we have to do is we just bring it down very slowly because nobody's holding on to the front bars, so the steering bars, so you have to, if it hits, it will actually turn the wheels, and you don't want that because then it makes it really hard to get it down here. Especially Joe's trike because she has a different style of handlebar than I have. Mine are upright, hers are well, they're technically upright, but they also fan out at the top. And it's real easy to get them caught. As you can see, the front end moved right there. Luckily, though, it's down far enough where I can just kind of kick it down here a bit. All right, come on, get out. Okay, so now we get it out the door. Joe's got to put bags on them. Well, she puts bags on hers, and or the first one out, and I put bags on the second one out usually. That's kind of how it works. Okay, so I got to lock her down, turn on her light for her, and all right, now I got to go back up and get the second trike. So as you can see, it's quite an ordeal just to get just to get the trikes out. This is my trike. This is Abby Normal. Yeah, gotta always double checking in my head that we got everything. And my trike's a little harder because my legs are longer, so the boom sticks out further. So you have to make sure that the pedals are exactly where you need them, and you have to watch it because it will catch real easy because of the longer boom. Okay, now normally we don't have the trailer, so we only have to do the two trikes, but since like I said, we don't own a car, just can't afford one anymore on our meager Social Security retirement income, and so we have to excuse me, use a utility trailer. To well, get food and excuse me, it's gonna be that time of year, you know, the allergies really kick in hard, and I have a little bit of ick going down the back of my throat, so I have to clear it out there every once in a while. Okay, and it's the same process. Just go slow. Make sure it don't get away from you. And I'm 67 years old, so I take my sweet time because I don't want this thing running me over and falling down these stairs. And we're hoping one of these days that if they get a opening downstairs in the bottom floor, we could move down there. But so far, every time an apartment's come open, they've already had somebody, you know, who's told them that they want it. So we haven't been able to get it. I'm not going to complain because we really like where we live. We are within a half a mile of 5 different local trails. Post office isn't too far away. The drugstore is not too far away. So it works out really good for this location for us. So if all we have is the second story, well, then we'll live with it. It does make a bit of work though. Yeah, it's kind of the one thing you really give up when you don't have a car anymore, and that is the convenience of everything. Okay, I'm gonna shut you off for just a minute because I've got something private I need to do. So we'll get back on. Bye. Okay, so now the final step. We get the trailer out. This is my homemade little cargo trailer here. Works like a champ. Basically just an old burly child carrier. And I took all that part off of it and just put some steel strapping across it and made it so it, as you can see, it's much easier than the trikes because it's just small enough to get through, just taking it straight. You have to be really careful with this one though, because this door seems to be at a little bit of an angle. There we go, pretty much got it. And the same kind of thing, except for this one you back down, you know, I guess you could say forward instead of backward like I did the other. Then I have to hook this puppy up to my trike because I'm the only one that has a hitch, or I should say a receiver. The hitch is built onto the trailer here. And Joe goes back up and locks the doors and make sure we didn't forget anything. So I got to hook the trailer up. It's a bit chilly today, I can tell you that. It's moving on me a little bit. That's not good. Come on, don't move too much. Okay, you got to get this hole lined up really good and get this thing back where it belongs. Okay, yeah, it's kind of a pain. There we go. You got to make sure that locks that pivot down there. Okay. Yeah, I should have pulled this off to start with, and I didn't. Come on, get off of there. There we go. And you want to wrap it around here. So in case it decides to come off, it won't just go running away on you. I added this little extra can of beer clip here to make it so it... do me a favor and set the parking brake, because she's trying to roll on me. You want me to do it? Yeah. Let me do it. Why are you having such a problem?
Because it doesn't want to move.
Here, let me do it. All you gotta do is like, man, you're right. Okay, I was wrong. Huh. Okay, well, looks like my parking brake is malfunctioning. That's a bummer. Oh yeah, it really is. Huh. I have no idea. It's never done that before. Okay, well I guess we can't use it. So I run a little orange flag for the trailer, and I had a blinking light on it, a blinking red light, but Joe's old tail light, which is the oldest one we had, finally just gave up and died. So we haven't got to some shop to get a new tail light for her bike so I could put the old tail light back on mine. Okay, I gotta put my bag on here. Joe's gonna be nice and stick it on there for me. So it's great.
Make sure it doesn't roll.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said on our last video, I've been having some real problems with getting my brakes to set. If I make them tight enough to where the parking brakes work on a downhill incline, they rub badly, at least at times. And then if I make sure they don't rub, well, the parking brake doesn't want to work. Yeah, that's just the way life goes. Yeah, this is a very old trike. It's somewhere between a 2006 and a 2010. TerraTrike did not keep good records back then at all. So they really can't tell me exactly how old it is. Because actually it doesn't even have the correct serial number on it, because the serial number that's on the yellow boom is from a whole different trike. Alright, I'll give you an idea what it looks like here. There's the rig, as I call it, when it's all together. Okay, so now you kind of know what it's like just to get us out here. And got to get, I put the trike a little too close, got to get Joe's flag out of my face. Mostly out of the camera. Alright, so we are headed downtown to a, there goes my phone, to a voting box. And too bad. Leave a message, maybe I'll call. Okay, for you that don't recognize that reference, that's from a Joe Walsh song. He goes, leave me a message and maybe I'll call. It's the only bad thing about modern times, you know. I call my my phone the electronic mother-in-law. I don't know about you, but I almost liked it better in the old days when you didn't have to have these things running around. But you know, we've got we record our mileage with it on Strava and so. I mean, it's got a lot of good uses, but it's still a pain in the bottom end. That's all there is to it. It always will be. Okay. Sorry, I was trying to figure out what this was in my mirror. It's my mic wire. So, all right. Like I said, right now we're on Wood Avenue, and we cruise down to Fontanero Street, and then we hook on that bike lane and go over to the Cascade Street bike lane and take that straight downtown to the DMV and the El Paso County Clerk and Recorder's office. And they have a voter's box there, so we drop off our votes when it's our time for elections, which of course, you know, with the midterms going on, that's what's happening. We always vote. We are not part of a party anymore. For for more like 40 plus years, you know, we were Republicans. But the last election, we just decided that we didn't want to follow a party. We wanted to follow what we figured would do us and the country the best. Yes, I put us in front of the country because, well, it's just the way it's got to be. So we are now considered unaffiliated voters, and that's the way we like it. We don't follow the party. All right, that's enough of that BS. And like I said, it's a chilly day today. Fall has really set in. It started actually below freezing, below 32 Fahrenheit this morning. That's why we didn't even bother to get going till after 9 o'clock because it's too cold. But it is supposed to go to 60 today and be mostly sunny, or at least partly sunny, something like that. So we'll probably see quite a few clouds in the afternoon. But I have an appointment. I got to call them and make sure it's tomorrow. But I think I have an appointment. I'm switching out my... this trike came with a 26-inch rear wheel. And it actually was never designed for one. TerraTrike back, you know, in that 2006-2010 time frame made an adapter for those that wanted the 26-inch wheel. A set of adapters. And this has those adapters. They're extremely rare now because they haven't been made for like, oh goodness, you know, almost 20 years. And but I just don't, I don't care for the 26-inch wheel. It gets in my way. Oh, car back. Clear. Like I said, it gets in my way when I'm trying to move the trike around, especially inside the apartment. And it also means, you know, you have to have a different tube, you know, and buy a different tire and everything else, you know. So I'm going back to the, I'm going to have them take the adapters off and I'm going to keep those and, give them to the owner, whoever gets this trike next. It may never see another owner because this may be my forever trike. Now, I'll be totally honest, well, not if, I messed that up. Don't want to hex it now. When my dear wife Jo wins her Powerball lottery, which she's been telling me for, at least 20 years that it's coming her way. And so I'll try to keep the faith and hopefully we'll get it before we get so old we can't use it. And all the money will just end up going to our kids, which they were going to get some money anyway, but that would really suck. There's so many things we would like to do. We would like to own our own home. We would love to be able to buy a really nice cargo van that we could put our trikes in and maybe make ourselves some bunks to hang off the wall, so we could throw down a sleeping bag and sleep if we needed to, if we couldn't find a motel for some reason, and be able to take trips all across the United States for a couple of months at a time and ride as many trails, and trail systems as we can before it's our time to pass on. Morning? What? Somebody's after me this morning. We get down to the voting place, I'll have to pull out my phone. I hope it's not Mom. Please, dear God, don't let it be Mom. My mom is still alive. She's like 82 years old now. I know you're going, well, you're 67, she's 82. Yeah. She was a mere 13 years old when I was born. So, we just kind of grew up together. And she's had a lot of health problems in the last, especially the last 3 or 4 years. So, do worry a lot about her. Of course, it's probably the only thing that's calling me is these pain in the bottom end political ad calls. They get so thick this time of year, or or when there's an election going on. And we had a pretty fat ballot this year. We have a lot of things, a lot of propositions, some constitutional changes. Of course, the race for governor and state treasurer and all that silly, weird stuff. If I sound a little sarcastic, I apologize, but you have to understand I'm 67. We've been voting for a long time, and I tell you, it just gets worse every time. It literally is down. Well, for many years now, it's been basically who you think is the best of the two evils. That's what it's like these days. Right now we're on the Cascade bike lane, and it's a very busy street, but the bike lane is good. It doesn't have any protected stuff, but it does have the double lines on each side, and most of the time people can figure out what's going on. Sometimes they can't. We forgive them. They're car drivers. They don't know any better. Yes, that was sarcasm. Okay, well, we're coming by Colorado College here. This is a liberal arts and sciences college. It is a hotsy-totsy place. You got to have either really good scholarships or really rich parents to afford to come here. It's very unique in that it's just spread out for blocks. You know, it's not like your normal college campus, you know, it's just, it sprawls everywhere. And this is the older buildings here, the old admin and all that. It's a beautiful campus, I mean, it really is. They got the Stowe Chapel over there to your left, and the Tut Library, and you know, this is the Student Center, this newer building down here. But that's the old original buildings. The Colorado CC's been around a long time, and they also do sports. Although the main sport for CC is hockey. Colorado College Tigers. That's the big sport here. The football team is you know, very low key. But just to give you a clue, you know, they've had the same football field for, oh, probably 50 years, but they just built a brand new standalone ice arena, you know, for the hockey team. So yeah, hockey is the thing for CC. That's my wife Jolynn in front of me, or Joe, and don't know if you noticed, but Joe never rides alone. She has a wingman. This is Bob. Bob doesn't talk much. He just smirks at you. The only time his expression ever changes is when Joe decides to kick it up to the big gears and go ballistic. Then I have to steal a line from Top Gun Maverick and say, "Huh, buckle up, Bob. Joe's going ballistic." Like I said, we're heading into downtown Colorado Springs. We have a great little downtown. We really do. Downtown is pretty good here. Not like Denver. Denver's downtown is a concrete canyon thing. Like New York and Chicago, and you can have those places. Pretty cool old apartment complex here. For you people that are old enough, I don't know if you remember the theme from Dark Shadows, otherwise known as Quentin's theme. But those buildings, man, they're perfect. You can just about imagine Barnabas Collins, the vampire guy, coming out of it. Yeah, we're really fortunate because where we live, you know, we can just jump right on this trail, or this bike lane, and there's even a better one over off of Weber Street, which is just like 2 or 3 streets to the left, that we normally use, but because the DMV county clerk and recorder thing is actually right on Cascade, we're using the Cascade bike lane instead. The only bad thing, of course, is 10,000 stoplights. Get a little color here. It's starting to fade though. Usually by now it's pretty much all gone. We had one really vicious windy day a few days ago, and it took a lot of leaves off. But there's still some color left. It came late this year because we've had a mostly beautiful October. I mean, it's just been absolutely gorgeous. So now that it's officially starting to turn cold, it's a real bummer. Like tomorrow's going to be mostly cloudy and only 52. and it's supposed to be quite a bit more windy than today. And then Thursday is pure yuck. It's supposed to be rainy, possible light snow, pure L garbage. As you can tell, we do not like cold, you know. And the trikes, well, there's no way to put it except for they suck in snow, okay? Yeah, trikes and snow don't go together at all. Now, Cascade is one of the main drags going north and south, but the real main drag is to our left. That's Tejon. I call that the real one because that's where all the restaurants and the shops and everything is. And then they have the business main drag, which is Nevada Avenue. Now, most people will tell you that it's Nevada Avenue, but I really think that Tejon is where the town is happening. That's St. Mary's Church over there. Catholic church, been there for decades. Basically, those two buildings on just to my right, ahead of me, is that's our two skyscrapers. And the one is really old. That used to be the Holly Sugar Building when they built it. Now it's got a different name, but that one's been around for a while, and the other one's quite a bit newer. But that's, like I said, that's the great thing. That's the great thing about Colorado Springs, is that you know, our downtown is still visible. It's not a concrete canyon, at least not yet. You can, as you go, if you go the east and west and head towards the west down the street, a lot of them you can still see Pikes Peak and, you know, the local mountain area, or not mountains, but the local hills and low mountains. Yeah, like I said, the only bad thing about these bike lanes into downtown, there's a lot of stops. Right now we're on Kiowa Street, which is a one-way thing. It only goes east. Can't go west on it. Yeah, we kind of we stay in the big chain wheel into the high gears, so it takes us a little bit to get going, because otherwise you're shifting from one to the other constantly, and just a pain in the drain. As you can hear, one of my brakes is rubbing, and there's just nothing I can do about it, so it's just going to have to rub. I have adjusted these brakes, at least 50 times since I've got it, and it just, I can't get it there, you know, so I think it's going to need, I think they're probably going to need to replace the calipers, because these things are really old. Now this trike is anywhere between, well, if it's a 2006, you know, I mean, it's very old. If it's a 2010, it's still 16 years old. So this is where it gets tight, right here. Okay, so what we'll have to do, Joe, is get behind that UPS truck, because we got straight traffic behind us. And some more of the downtown area. That's the Plaza of the Rockies, that red building to my left. Mainly a business building now. At one time it had a, when they first built it, it actually had a little itty bitty ice rink in it. Okay, I'm gonna go behind Okay, we're clear. Okay, come away from the cars, dear. They've got a lane, so we're going to have to just take the lane. Yeah, Joe and I don't really care for taking the lane. I know that's the way you're supposed to do it, but sometimes you don't have any choice. Sometimes you just have to take the lane. This is one of those times because you got people in cars that are parking and moving out, and if you stay too close, they will run you down. Because a lot of times they don't look. Okay, I'm going to kick down my gear here because we're going over to the box. Gonna turn here, and I got to take a really wide turn because of this trailer. Alright, we're going to drop off our ballots. As you can see, they have the official ballot drop box. And I know a lot of people don't like these ballots but in the drop boxes, but you know what? I don't understand it because it's so much easier than having to stand in a line for 2 or 3 hours and then have, you know, idiots screaming at you, you know, about how their side's the only side that's right, etc., blah blah blah, and you know, and then finally get into a machine and do it. Then here, man, you just drop it off. And they even have a service that tells you that they got the vote. You know, it comes over your email. So, come on, what's not good about that? All the hype about the boxes, you know. Let's just go all the way up, Joe, and we'll just spin up there and turn around. Actually, let's just go over there and go around. Be easier. But yeah, like I said, this is a Centennial Hall there. This is the El Paso County. And over here is the Pikes Peak Center, which is our main indoor, I guess you'd call it, yeah, indoor event area, arena. It's not really an arena. It's more like a really large movie theater. Oh yeah, auditorium. Thank you, Joe. Oh, bounce, bounce, bounce. Looks like they've got everything blocked off over here. So I think what we need to do is head that way and go around. Go ahead. I got to take the wide turn. Yeah, right now we're going down the Singing Boulevard here. As you can hear. Well, hopefully you can hear. It's playing music. This is all, they built this all up for the United States Olympic Paralympic Museum over here. That funny aluminum foil colored building. Okay, we're gonna get back on the street here. Yeah, but it looks like they had the normal way we'd take. It looks like they had it blocked off, so but this works actually, and actually it's actually nicer because it doesn't have a quarter of the traffic that Cascade has. What we're doing is we're jumping on Colorado Avenue here, and then we're we're going to turn onto the car back. We're going to turn onto the, back onto the Cascade Street bike lane. And then we're going to turn onto the Pikes Peak Avenue bike lane and take that over to Weber Street and get on the Weber Street bike lane. So yeah, we know our bike lanes really well. We know where they all are. We got the parking lot people that come collect the coins. Luckily, the city's new meters still take coins, because I don't know about you, but man, the idea of using a credit card for parking just bothers the heck out of me. It is so easy to snatch your credit cards and the IDs and stuff that to me that's just dangerous. I would never. When we had our car, we always made sure that we had quarters. Okay. All right. Well, now we have to play with traffic, which really sucks. Eventually, we'll be able to get into the turn lane here. Nice yellow Camaro. Now this is Colorado Avenue. This is the main east-west street, pretty much throughout the entire city and pretty much the entire town area, whole area. Boy, we're gonna have to get out here and expose ourselves. Okay, stop please, stop please. Okay, we gotta go. We gotta get out of the thing, Joe, come on. Gotta get out of the way or get run over. Alright, so now we're going up here, like I said, to pick up the Pikes Peak Avenue. Now this is the, this is kind of main downtown we'll take you through now. Like I said, now I guess it's the First Bank building, but it used to be the Holly Sugar building. That big hotel there is the Antlers Hotel. The Antlers has been around since, not that particular one, but been around since like the 40s. That was the original, big expensive 5-star hotel before they, even before they had the Broadmoor. So it's been around forever. Like I said, right now we're on Pikes Peak Avenue, and it's got a very nice bike lane. And this is Tejon Street we're coming up on. This is the one I was telling you about. This is the main drag for restaurants and shops and all that stuff. Okay, well, a little hard to see into that sun. Make sure I can still go. There's the old Peak Theater. It's the last of the old theaters. We used to have the Chief Theater, the Peak Theater, the Ute Theater, and the Cooper Theater. But they're all gone, except for the old Peak. La Baguette Cafe. They make killer eclairs. Oh man. Our main Cajun restaurant, and the new Wyndham Grand Hotel. It's a fancy, you need a lot of money. To stay there kind of place. And over over to the left is a new apartment complex. Or actually, it might be a motel because it's a Hyatt. So yeah, it might be actually a motel, a hotel. I never know. They got the rock climbing place, City Rock there, and then Mountain Chalet next to it, off-road, off-store, whatever you want to call it. All right, waiting on the lights here. There's the old post office. That was the original post office here in town. So now we're heading out of downtown. We're heading for the Weber Street bike lane. Right there on the corner of Weber and Pikes Peak is the Well. That's a brand new multi-restaurant thing. I don't know what you call them. Got several different eateries in it. I'm pretty sure you can get any libation you want, pretty much. As you can see to my left and in front of me, they've got they're just building apartments left and right downtown. I mean, it's just unreal. When they finally get all these apartments full, you're not going to be able to go anywhere downtown without a 2 or 3 hour wait just to get into a restaurant, you know, or one of the many brew pubs we have here in Colorado Springs. We almost have a brew pub on every corner, it seems like, anymore. They're everywhere. Sometimes more than one on the corner. But the town is really catering to the young, you know, yuppie business. I know they're not yuppies anymore. I don't know what they call them. But the business, young business people, you know. Oh. Yeah, this is really hard to see past these dang parked cars, I'll tell you. That's the only problem, you know. I mean, they've got to make it so, you know, it works for bikes, it works for cars, it works for pedestrians. So, you know, hey, that's just the way it goes. Okay, so now we're going up the Weber Street bike lane, and we're heading our way over to our local Walmart neighborhood marketplace off of Union Boulevard and Constitution, I guess it would be. A little south of that. But that's where we do most of our shopping, because that's where we can afford to shop. We do some shopping at our local Safeway, but Safeway is a little more of a specialty store, you know, so the prices are really high. But there's some things we can't get at our Walmart marketplace, or even at the big Walmart on 8th Street. And then there's some things that Safeway has, and then just the opposite. There's a lot of things that, especially for Joe, being a type 2 diabetic, all of her sugar-free sauces and all that kind of stuff, you know, marinades and barbecue sauce and salad dressings. It's very strange, you know. You'd figure Safeway, being a specialty store, would carry that stuff. They don't. They mainly, you know, but Walmart, you know, which is not a specialty store, it's a general store, does. So that's why Walmart gets most of our business, because they have the products we need when they don't get rid of them. That is one bad thing about Walmart, man. They bail stuff left and right on you. Okay. That's Palmer High School there. That was the original high school in the city. It was just called Colorado Springs High School when they first started, way back in the 30s and 40s. And this is probably the newer part of it, but yeah, it's still around. I don't even know what their mascot is now. It used to be the Terrors, but they had kind of a, I will have to admit, their logo, you know, was a funny looking Indian, you know, Indian brave. And so I could see that their logo might be considered derogatory toward the Indians, so they got rid of it. I don't know what they are now. But I don't understand. We have another high school, another district, District 12, we had Cheyenne Mountain High School. And, you know, they were the chiefs, you know, and they had a very distinguished looking logo, you know, a chief with a full war bonnet and stuff, you know. And they got rid of that too. All this political correct bullshit that goes on these days, just ridiculous. I guess I say that because I'm 67 years old, you know. I've seen this poor country go through so many changes. You know, I spent 6 years in the service, 4 years in the Air Force, 2 years in the Navy, active, both. You know, got a honorable discharge from both. Did my duty. Sometimes even a little above. But it's just a shame how coddled Americans have to be anymore. You know, they like to think of themselves as, you know, those tough pioneers. They're not. What a bunch of whiners, man. They whine. Americans whine about everything. Of course, some of that's just because, you know, we got promised a lot growing up, you know. I mean, Joe and I grew up in the 60s and the 70s. And, you know, back then, you know, women were supposed to stay home and have babies, and men were supposed to go out and do great things, you know. And we were supposed to be masculine, rugged individuals, you know. Okay, jackass, hurry up. You know, just amazes me people can't have enough patience, you know, to let you by. Oh no, gotta beat them old folks on a trike. So, oh well. You know, we really don't mind, you know, having to go through all this. It's a little easy, you know, as far as, you know, not having a car. I mean, it's not convenient, there's no doubt. You have to think about a lot of things. You know, where when you have a car, it doesn't matter what the weather's like unless it's like horrible. You just jump in your car and you go. You don't have a car, you know. Hey, if the weather's horrible, you ain't going that day. So, you know, like if we got to a point to where, you know, the weather was horrible, well, we're close enough to a Safeway that, and we have the pull type little grocery carts, you know, the fold up ones, and we'll go over there and, you know, get enough food to get by till we can, you know, go do an actual real load at the Walmart, you know, till the weather conditions get better. Actually, they're easy.
Really?
Yeah.
I tried and it
Well,
I'm getting used to.
yeah, that's the secret. You have to give your... They do what they call getting your recumbent legs. So it takes, I would say, about 150 to 200 miles, and then all of a sudden it's normal. Have a good day. Howdy. She was saying that these are hard to ride. And yes, at first, because they're different. You use an entire different set of muscles on a recumbent, whether it be a bicycle or a trike, you know, 2 or 3 wheel, doesn't matter, but you use a different set of muscles. You know, with a regular bicycle, you use the lower leg muscles and the and a lot of your lower back muscle. But with the trike, or with the recumbent, basically your power comes from your thighs. Because instead of pushing, you're pistoning, you know? You're out, back, out, back, out, back, out, back. Kind of like a Subaru motor, you know? Opposed piston, you know? So that's the secret. That, and you learn to not mash the pedals, you know? Shift into a lower gear and do what they call spinning. You spin more, which is actually better on your knees anyway than mashing, which is like put it in high gear and just, you know, use your legs to power through. And it does take a little while to get used to a recumbent. Like I was telling her, they have an old saying that you have to get your recumbent legs, and that's what it is. You just have to retrain your body to work with the recumbent instead of the bicycle, the upright bicycle. But once you got it, to me it took about 150 to 200 miles. You know, not killer rides, just rides. And then finally, you know, everything just clicked. The body just said, okay, well, this is normal now, we can handle it. And that's how it is. Just, you know, relax, take your time. Part of the problem is that, I don't know what it is, but everybody gets a bicycle, and the first thing they ask is, how fast is it? Who cares? If you're on a bicycle, you're supposed to be out enjoying the ride, getting a little exercise, you know, getting out in the fresh air. Why do you even care about how fast it will go? It's so dumb. You know, and I mean, there's a lot of people in trikes that are the same way, you know. Oh, I gotta have the lowest trike, all carbon fiber, so it's super light, so I can go super fast. I've never understood it. It's like, the greatest asset of a trike is that just kick back and enjoy the ride, man. They are a very enjoyable, comfortable ride, you know. The seats can be adjusted exactly how you need it. They can set up the boom and the pedals and the cranks exactly for your leg length. I mean, they are amazing. They can be adapted to almost anyone, you know. There are people that have terrible, you know, cerebral palsy and, oh, what's that other one? Can't remember the name of it, but it makes you shake all the time and stuff. You know, and they can hardly walk. But you can get on the, they can put you on a trike, and all of a sudden, man, you're mobile. A great example is a gentleman named Will, who's part of our recumbent network. I don't know exactly what he has. I think he had a stroke. That's all, but I could be totally wrong. But yeah, he doesn't walk very well. You know, and it seems like he really only has real good control over one side of his body. But he can kick my butt when it comes to riding a trike. And unlike a lot of people, he doesn't use e-assist either. Of course, we don't have e-assist. That's only because we can't afford it. If we had the money, we'd have it, just because it helps out where you need it. Oh, check it out, it's a unicycle. How cool. I could never imagine me on a unicycle because I would do a constant face plant. Guaranteed. Yeah, we really like this Weber Street bike lane because, over the Cascade Street bike lane, because it's just, I mean, yeah, we do have traffic, but it's a lot less busy. It's just a lot less busy. And it's flat like a pancake, man. Because a block to the right is the Shook's Trail. It's one of our few actual rail trails. But it goes up and down and meanders way off here and way off there. This is like flat and direct, boy. Just pew! You know, straight where we need to go. Because basically what we're doing is getting back to the starting point where we normally would go to get food at our Walmart neighborhood marketplace on Union. We basically ride the Rock Island Trail all the way over to Union, and then we take a little back street down to the actual shopping center area where the neighborhood marketplace is, and one of us goes in and goes shopping, and you know, as fast as they can, tries to get done, and the other one stays out with the trikes. Since these are our only transportation, and we are not wealthy at all, period, we can't leave these things alone. Which is a bit of a pain in the bottom end, because, you know, if you want to go to like a restaurant, you got to make sure they got big windows, you know, and you can get the trikes really close. Yeah, we've got locks. We have both. We use 2 locks apiece, you know, for the trikes themselves, and then I have 3 more locks. One's a 15-foot cable lock, so I can get it through the trikes and the trailer. And then I have a separate cable lock, small cable lock for the trailer. And you know, like I said, we have both we have 6-foot cables and a nice good padlock for the trike, plus the U-bolt lock. Sadly, not the top of the line. Joe's is a master and mine's a kryptonite, but it's a bottom liner. But let's face it, if they want your bicycle bad enough, they're going to get it. If you're not watching it, they're going to get it. You know, they're going to get it. Now, for a lot of years, trikes were not, they really weren't on a high theft thing, you know. People were more interested in stealing mountain bikes and the new gravel bikes, because those are like hip, you know. It's hip to be square. And but ever since COVID came out, even trikes, you know, are on the eyes of thieves, because, well, people are buying bikes and trikes left and right, you know. I think it's slowed down some, but in the heyday, you know, in the years of COVID, you know, 2020 and 2021, man, I mean to tell you, we've actually had people try to steal our trikes while we were sitting on a patio at a restaurant. eating our lunch, and getting some iced tea, unsweetened iced tea. Yeah. The great thing about it is most people don't know that trikes have parking brakes. And if you don't know how to release them, the trike ain't going nowhere. Plus, too, like I said, we were sitting right there. And Joe walked over and had her phone out and was recording the would-be thieves and said, well, how brave do you want to be? Because I'm going to call the cops right now. And of course, you know, they split. But, yeah, I mean, you know, only, I don't know, just as far as I'm concerned, unless I can see the trike, I will not go inside. That's another reason, besides the fact that with my arthritis I have bladder control problems, and Joe is very, very slow, which is great for me. I like her speed, but for most people we're too slow. Even those without e-assist were too slow. So we don't ride in groups, which is a real shame. I do miss riding with other people, but to give you a great example, I went on a local network ride, the Pikes Peak Region Recumbent Network ride, which is as close to a local recumbent group as we have here in Colorado Springs. And it was rough on me, you know, because these gentlemen are all my age, but they seem to have much better bladders than I have. Boy, I mean, there's a lot of times I was riding around basically turning yellow and speaking Chinese as I needed to go. And there's nothing I can do about it. It's just part of my arthritis. So it's one of the reasons that we don't, we just really don't ride with groups. It just doesn't work for us. I mean, even if we had e-assist, now there's still the problem, there's still the bladder problem, so it just doesn't work. Here's our little Safeway. Right now we're going to just jump on a little tiny bit of the Shook's Run Trail. This is the Bonn, B-O-N-N, shopping center. It's got a little cocktail, I don't think it's a brew pub. I think they do cocktails and coffee place called the Steer, or Stir. I think it's Steer, S-T-I-R. And they've got Ace Hardware, and the red brick building up here is what was originally the Safeway way back. It's now our credit union, Federal Credit Union. Over here is the Tasty Freeze Drive-In. It's the little ice cream hot dog hamburger place, but they close at basically the 1st of October. They're done, and they don't open till the last week in April, so they're closed for the season. Oh, we got a bunch of big utility work down here, boy. So we're going to turn and jump onto Jackson here. Okay, we're back. Done shopping. Poor Joe had to be the guard dog today. That's what we call the position when whoever stays out with the trikes.